He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Professor Show. My name is Don Baine, and of course, I am the Gadget Professor. Well, we have a ton of stuff to go over today. I could probably do a 2-hour episode, but Wildman Mike back there in the control room would shoot me. So I'm going to talk fast, and we're going to be all over the place today. I have a very eclectic episode, a show for you today with a lot of stuff. We're going to bounce all over the place, but I hope you'll find everything very interesting. Of course, we're on episode 151, and you can very easily watch The Gadget Professor by just going to thegadgetprofessor.com. And of course, when you're on the webpage, you want to scroll down halfway there to the newsletter, click your email address in there, and every Thursday evening when we come up with a brand new episode, you will get the show notes, which is basically a collection of all the URLs that we spoke about with each episode, hot linked, and that way you'll have everything there for your reference, and it's totally free. You can email me anytime, 24 hours a day at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. That would be thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. You can write me about questions that you might have, tech questions, things you might want to see on the show or discussed, whatever you want. I always answer my email, and I enjoy very much getting email from everybody. So thank you for those folks who do email me. Also, you can follow me on Facebook. And Facebook, well, actually, Facebook would be Facebook.com/Gadget Professor. What I'm showing you right here now is my Rebel Mouse page, which is rebelmouse.com/Gadget Professor. And this is a really cool site. You know, it's my favorite site. We tweet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, that would be @GadgetProfessor. And it's a good thing to follow me because I have all kinds of discounts that we come up with that are only shown on the Gadget Professor Show, and I will tweet that. Plus, everything that we tweet is taken as a pictorial, and you can see that on the Rebel Mouse page. So that's kind of neat. Now, talking about discounts, we are still running for one more week and one more week only the Panavice show, which we did last week, episode 150. We're still running those discounts, which are available nowhere. And to my knowledge, Panavice has never discounted their products, so that's still available. You can check out the show notes on show 150, or actually go to the gadgetprofessor.com website and scroll down, and you'll see there's a special link. You must go through Newegg to get that discount. Also, if you go to the gadgetprofessorpromo.com page, gadgetprofessorpromo.com, you'll also see the links right there, and it shows the 3 different mounts that are available. So definitely check that out. Now, we got a lot of news to discuss today, and one of the things that's coming up this Sunday, the Gadget Professor and Mike will be leaving to go to Las Vegas because, of course, the NAB show will be there, the National Association of Broadcasters, and that runs from April 5th through April 10th. And the Gadget Professor, I'm honored, was asked to come down to NAB and for NAB run the Gadget Professor Show live from the showroom floor. So that will be very exciting. And you can actually watch me live from the NAB showroom floor Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, tentatively Thursday. But right now it's definitely Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock live. I will be sending out the URL. I don't have it right now. I know it's going to be broadcast on Justin TV, and it also may be picked up by the Tech Podcast Network. There's a lot of moving parts right now, but we're definitely scheduled. We definitely have all our interviews lined up, so it should be a lot of fun, and you'll see really what's the newest, latest, and greatest right from NAB. I will be running interviews every 15 minutes, and that should be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. I will put it out, a special blast on Twitter. I will also put out a note on the GadgetProfessor.com show page as to what the URL is. And if you're subscribed to the Gadget Professor show notes, I will put out, as soon as I get the URL, I will email that to everybody so you'll have that. And that would be from 9 to 11 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And that's going to be Las Vegas time or Arizona time. So that should be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to that. We also have a sponsor for the show, which we're very grateful to have. The folks at StreamStar will be sponsoring the Gadget Professor Show at NAB, and they have come out with some just positively amazing products at amazing prices. So if you're a podcaster or a broadcaster or do portable shows that you want to stream, whether it's sporting event or anything, they have a product coming out. I have not seen it, but I will see it at NAB, and we'll certainly do a review on that because the folks at StreamStar will be our first guest. They have a new portable production system that's under $1,000 that uses HDMI inputs, and they also offer you a free year of streaming with that. In fact, they offer a free year of streaming with any of their products. So they're relatively new to the market, and it should be very, very exciting. We're also going to be running their new touch system that, there it is there, the touch surface. That will actually be powering the Gadget Professor Show for the first time live. So that should be a lot of fun and very interesting. So I'm sure you'll want to take a peek at the Gadget Professor. If I could stay awake that long, it's going to be a long day. But anyway, here's some more news for us today. This is all over the news. I don't think you can turn on the TV or pick up a newspaper today without seeing the news about the new Amazon entry into the streaming TV box market, shall we say. So now they are going to be competitors for the Chrome Stick. There'll be competition for the Roku box and all the other platforms that are out there. The Boxy Box, I don't know if that's still doing well, Google TV, but Amazon has come up with their own box. This is a picture of it. It has a remote control and it has a box. The box in size is slightly larger than the Roku box, but really it's close to the Apple TV in terms of sizing, slightly bigger. And essentially Amazon wants to be the brain and the heart inside your big TV screen. It will cost $99, which is very reasonable. And if we take a look at the specs, the set-top box was unveiled at a press conference event in New York City, with shipping taking place the same day. So this box is available now, priced at $99 and thinner than a dime. Yikes. The Fire TV features 1080p HD video, 2 gigs of RAM, which is more RAM than any of those boxes combined. That includes the Chrome Stick, obviously, the Roku box, Apple TV. 2 gigs of RAM is a lot. And a quad-core processor. Amazon says the streaming device offers performance 3 times faster than the Roku 3, Apple TV, and Google Chromecast. That sounds quite impressive. Like the company's Kindle Fire tablets, Amazon Fire TV will run a modified version of Google's Android operating system and give the users access to third-party apps like Hulu+, Netflix, and YouTube. I will have this posted on the show notes and you can read all about it. It looks really, really cool. Now, speaking of the Roku box, yours truly just received, we'll do a close-up of this on camera too. There you go. I just received the Roku Stick. I just got this actually yesterday. I haven't even opened it up. It's still sealed in the box. We'll take a peek at that, but we'll do it maybe next week. So I haven't tested it out, but I'm very excited. If you look at the back of the box, you'll see what it looks like. There's a stick and there's a remote control, so there's no more box. And essentially what this says is you're in control, more movies, sports, news, music, kid show, free channels than any other streaming player. Effortlessly control all your entertainment with the simple remote or free Roku mobile app. 31,000 movies, 1,000 plus channels. So right now, today, as I'm sitting here talking to you, my pick has been the Roku and still will be the Roku. I can't wait to try out the stick. I've just been too busy to. But I will also order an Amazon TV Fire because I always got to have the latest gadgets. And I will check that out and I'll let you know which one is better in my opinion. So stay tuned. Now, this article, once in a while things just boil my blood so much. And this is one of those one of those stories that boils my blood. I won't spend long on it, but I got to comment on it. Time Warner Cable CEO Robert Marcus, who served in the role for just 44 days before Comcast announced plans to take over his company, is eligible for, hold on people, hold on, he is eligible for an $80 million golden parachute in the acquisition, according to Comcast documents filed last Thursday. The Securities and Exchange Commission statement says Marcus could receive $56.5 million in equity, $20.5 million in cash, $20.5 million in cash, and $400,000 in benefits, among other payments. The payout, dependent on Comcast winning the federal approval for the takeover, and TWC shareholders will have a chance to weigh in on the terms. Oh my God. If you factored what he earned for those 44 days, under the proposal payout, Marcus would receive nearly $2 million for each day he served presiding over the sale announcement. Oh my God, $2 million a day? Something's wrong with this country, and this is part of what it is. This is insane. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, let's move on. I've always been a fan of the Leatherman tools and all those crazy kinds of pocket tools that have a million things in, you know, the multi-tools, and I have quite a few of them. I haven't purchased this one, nor will I, but this one caught my eye. Caught my eye for a couple reasons. One, it's $185 for this tool. We'll zoom in on it if we can. Here we go. So there's a close-up of what this puppy does, and I'm like, why would it cost $185? The stainless steel Leatherman MultiTool, 16 tools and a black oxide finish. Yeah. Here we go. And a brown molle sheath. Wow. This multi-tool is designed to handle firearm service, repair and adjust tasks. The tool set includes a 3-inch 420 HC combo blade, a separate combination front sight adjustment tool, and a 3/8 wrench and several screw bits. The wire cutters, disassembly punch, a carbon scraper can be replaced, blah, 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 blah. Holy smokes. I don't know enough about guns to see if this is worth it, but it's got quite a few features on it, and this thing is insane. So that caught my eye, and I just thought I'd point it out as a point of information. Now, you got to watch this next YouTube video. I'm not going to run the whole thing because it's 5 minutes in length, but I'm just going to tell you that it's insane. You're basically able to extend the range of your fob that unlocks your car door. You all know what they are. You push the button and it unlocks the door. But what this gentleman has found out through research, it's scientific, it's very interesting. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try it as soon as I leave the studio today. But what this guy found out, that is, if you put your key fob next to your head, you can actually start your car or open your car door from much farther away. And again, I'm not going to run this whole thing, but essentially it's based on the scientific principle that the waves, that the frequency that the button is on will travel farther on water. So there's a lot of water in your head, and if you hold the key next to your brain, to your head, it will use the water in your head to transmit the waves longer. I know this sounds crazy, but he also went and showed that after he put it on his head, it increased the distance significantly. But then to further illustrate his point, he actually brought a jug of water with him, and you can actually see that. There's a jug right there. He's holding the jug of water and putting the key on the water. And he has confirmed that it quadrupled the distance. Not that you're going to carry a jug of water with you, but it's a very funny, interesting video, and you should check it out. And now we're going to come to we have kind of two things we're going to talk about today, and this one is very, very frustrating for me. It involves doing a simple repair to my printer, and then we'll talk about a hole in the wall, and then we're going to talk about Ubuntu, which is a software that's free that if you have an old computer or a laptop and you don't know what to do with it, I'm going to show you what you can do with it. So let's talk about the frustration of the week for the Gadget Professor. Here is a picture of my Samsung printer that I use continuously. And right here, I know you can't see it, I'll show you a blow-up of it. There's a little flap here, and when you scan in your materials, put in your stack of papers, it will scan them in and digitize them, and I do that all day long. But unfortunately, I moved the wrong way, and I broke the little, very tiny plastic pin that allows that flap to rotate forward and back. Consequently, I couldn't stack up my papers and run it through. So I figured I had the little piece, and it's just a little nib, maybe 1/8 of an inch thick, a round cylinder like the tip of a nail. And big deal, I'll get some super glue. Well, I got to tell you, I tried every super glue on the market. I tried Loctite. I tried 7 different glues. I couldn't believe it. It's a teeny piece of plastic. Nothing would stick. And consequently, I didn't want to buy a new printer, and it just annoyed the heck out of me. So essentially, what happened here is, here's a close-up of the glue that I actually used, and I found a glue that I'm going to recommend. And I ended up putting in a little nail. You can see the nail head. I'll show it to you right here. Here's the actual glue piece that I ended up with. I know it looks sloppy, but it was so frustrating, and I didn't know if this glue would work. But here's a little nail I cut with a clipper and put the nail in there so it will actually pivot on that. That's what that looks like. And essentially, I'll blow this up again. The only glue, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's back off here. The only glue that worked, and I've used this for years, is the JB Weld glue. JB Weld. And this is an A and B mix. So you put equal parts, you just do a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, whatever you want, however much you need, of both these A and B products. You get a little nail or toothpick and stir it up until it becomes a gray, gooky color, and it's all mixed thoroughly. And I put that on the little nail piece that I had on that little plastic nub, and let it dry overnight, and it just worked flawlessly. So you can keep all your super glues, and listen, I know there's carpenters and professional craftsmen that watch the Gadget Professor Show, and you may have used something else, and when I get on to my next demonstration, I know you probably used something else. But in terms of glue, something that will absolutely work. It's not clear. It dries, as you can see, in a black. It dries kind of, I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, it dries black, but boy, this stuff is like iron, like steel, and if you have a job that you need really good glue, epoxy that will hold anything, and I mean anything, JB Weld over the years has held up well for me. Where do you get it? I got it at Walmart. I was thinking like $3, but it works. Now, here's the next insane thing that drove me absolutely crackers. Mike, you have any idea why this is doing this? No. I know why. Okay. I think we got to click here. Don't know. Never had this happen before. Usually my pictures come up straight, but they didn't. Okay. If you can see right here, actually you can't see because I'm looking at the monitor. I live in Arizona, and for some insane reason, 99% of the houses in Arizona, in fact probably all the houses, use sheetrock, which is nothing new. But the sheetrock that they use here, if you can see this photograph, you can see the, kind of like the modeling. They do this kind of neat finish that makes the walls look very modeled, and it looks nice, no issues. Anyway, I had a hole in the wall that was actually covered up with an old towel hanger, and my wife wanted to change the colors and repaint the bathroom, which was no issue. But when I took this old piece off, the idiot who had the house prior to us used a molly bolt, one of those wing bolts that hung in. When I pulled it out, I was left with this hole. So no problem. I just got this patch, spackle, which is quite common. We'll take a look at that at camera 2. Just, here we go. Just, spackle. This spackle's neat because it goes on pink, and when it's dry, it turns white. So I took this spackle, put it in the hole, let it dry overnight, went to drill a hole in it, and because the hole was so big right in here, and there's nothing behind that hole, the spackle just pushed through, and I'm left with the same hole. So then I bought a different type of spackle, kind of a plaster spackle that's stronger, and put that in. This is an easy thing, and as soon as I went to put the screw in, boom, the whole thing pushed through, and I'm left with that same hole. Now, there's a kit that you can buy. It's standard operating procedure that gives you a little piece of screen. Sometimes it's metal, most of the time it's plastic, and it looks like your screen door. And it's a little square. And what you do is you actually put the spackle on, and then you stick that little screen right to it. And what happens is that screen gives you something to lock onto and to adhere to. And then when everything's dry, you can lightly sand it. The screen still stays there, and you can't really see it because you're going to paint over or cover it over. And then when you put your screw in, that screen mesh usually holds. I tried that. That didn't work. That drove me nuts. So I remembered I had this problem years ago, and this is the Gadget Professor's own personal way to fix this. And I guarantee you, if you have a good-sized hole, this will work. It's insane, and I'm probably going to get a lot of emails telling me that this is nuts, but it works. What I did is, there's the hole, and what I did is I took a paint stick, a common paint stick that you get for free anywhere. They give these away. And I just cut off a little square piece, like so. And what I did is I put a small hole in the center of the piece. Okay, bear with me. And I got a tie. This is nothing more than a plastic tie. And in the middle of that hole, I put the tie. So the back of it won't pull through, and this is essentially what I'm left with. That's it. Now, at that point, I took my JB weld, and I smeared it all over the front of this. So now I have this contraption here with the JB weld, real sticky epoxy all over it. Now what I did is, if we take a look at the hole, I actually pushed this piece of wood through that hole, and I used this tie to pull it forward and put some pressure on it. So this was behind the hole. This was actually, if we look at just camera 1, Mike, if the hole is here, I actually pushed this sideways into here and jiggled it around and pulled so that the back of this would be snugged up against that hole. And I let that dry. I could have done it in an hour, but I let it dry overnight because I was in no rush. So the next morning when I came back, this is what it looks like right there. At that point, here's my super stuff that I always go to. I don't even use spackle anymore. What I did is, if we look at camera 2, this puppy right here, Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty. I don't use putty or spackle for the most part. This is what I use. And what you do is you take this, and this dries like concrete. I mean, literally, it dries like concrete. So if we look at this picture here, you can see my Durham's paint, my Durham's putty, and here's a little blue cup. You can see, I think you can see. Mike, can you, there we go. I have a little blue dish, and I just took a plastic spoon, and you mix this 3 parts to 1. So I took 3 parts of powder and 1 part of water, and I stirred it up, and I needed a little bit more water, and you just make it so it's like a thick putty. At that point, what I did is I just spooned it into this hole and filled that all up with the putty. So that's what it looks like right now. So I let that putty dry. It says 2 hours. I let it dry overnight. What's nice about this Durham's putty is that it doesn't shrink, and once it's dry, literally it's like a rock. Now, the reason for putting this backing piece in is because there's nowhere for that putty to go. I have a back there now, and it formed, it actually stuck to this piece here, and what I did is I pushed this through. That's one way to do it, and when I squeeze the putty in, the putty actually goes through the hole in the wood, which definitely holds it. Another way, another technique that I've used, and that's what I did for this, is I actually took a wire cutter and cut this so that it was inside the hole, so I'm actually left with a little piece like that, and when you put the putty in, it actually grips on that and it tightens it. So with the JB Weld glue, it's adhered to the back of the plaster wall, and then the putty actually grips on this. There's nowhere to go. So once I had that done and it was dry, I just took my screwdriver and actually my electric drill and woo, drilled through that, got my mounting piece up, and then put the little brand new bronze, we had to have bronze towel holder, and that thing is rock solid. That house may fall down, but I guarantee you that will be there forever. So here's the JB Weld, quick weld is what I use, putty. I'll have that on the show notes, and also the Durham's Rock Hard water putty. And I know this isn't a typical gadget, but it is a gadget, and man, when you need this stuff, you want stuff that works, this stuff works. So enough on that, and I hope you enjoyed that little repair ditty that we did. Now what we're going to do is talk about some computers, get back to the tech stuff. And people have old laptops, they have old desktops, they have old Macs. What do you do with them? What do you do with them? Well, I'll tell you what you could do with them. There's a software called UBUNTU, and I talked about this maybe 2 years ago, but I got a few emails that people had some spare laptops and desktops, and they didn't want to throw them out. Is there any use for them? They had Windows on them, and it didn't work, and blah, blah, blah. In any event, you can download this Ubuntu for free, and you just go to ubuntu.com, and there's a whole, a giant web page. Actually, I'm on that now, and it loads its own operating system on, and it's Linux, and it works quite well. And if you're afraid of it, don't be, because you can download this software for free, and you can run it through your your CD player, the DVD player that's on your laptop or your desktop. And if you boot from that, it will automatically, even if your machine's screwed up with the Windows software, it doesn't matter. You boot from that disk, okay? And what happens is it puts its own software on there, and it will run. And right here, you can actually take a tour of what this will do, and it does everything that your Windows or Mac will do, quite frankly. So if you look at the tour, it gives you an operating system. This is what it will look like when it's starting up on your computer. And by the way, if you have a Mac, this will work on a Mac too. So you can browse file, you can find apps, you can check your email, you can create documents, you can create spreadsheets. There's Firefox, you can surf the web, you can view photos, you can watch videos. And you know, if I want to surf the web, boom, there it is. Here's my menu along the left-hand side. If I want home folders, it's just like you were using Windows or your Mac. If I want to write a letter, if I want to have something that's formatted, I can do that. If I want to do an Excel spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet, all this stuff is free. All this software is free. You have a free cloud service, and that comes free. It gives you 5 gigs of storage, and you could sync it across all your platforms. And there's no reason on earth why you can't use Ubuntu to reconstruct or put into activity an old computer that's not working. It works great. Plus, there's absolutely, positively no viruses. So you have 2 choices. You could run it from the CD and always run it that way, or if you want, it will actually load on your hard drive and be there forever. And they always update it, and there's a huge free support forum out there. So if you have any questions, you just go on the chat and someone will help you out. And your last question, of course, is how do I burn the CD? I don't have CD burning software. Well, the file is an ISO file, ISO, and that's the file you've got to load. But you can't do anything with that ISO file. You need to load that ISO file onto a DVD, and you need to burn it. So take a blank DVD, and right here it's called Media Freeware, and you can go to their free burning software on here. It will be on the show notes. Load that, put that on your computer, a different computer that works, obviously. Load that onto a DVD, that ISO file, the Ubuntu ISO file, and you are done. Also, by the way, If you have a working machine, they have a free ISO mount, so you can take that file, if your machine works, double click it, and just run it right from the file, so you have two choices. So either way, Ubuntu is the way to go. It will work on the Mac, it will work on the PC, it's Linux, there's no viruses, and anything that you want to do that you do on a Windows or a Mac, you can do in Ubuntu, and it's 100% legal, 100% free, and 100% virus free. And before we close out the show, I have to show you this. My good friend, the Rooters, Margie and Bob, sent me this morning, and this is all made out of manila folders, and it just blew me away. I'll try to post these on the website, but some creative person had the patience and talent to actually take this and make an entire plane and cut these down from a manila folder. It just blew me away, and it never ceases to amaze me, the creativity and the talent that people have. It boggles my mind. So I just thought I'd show that because I found it absolutely fascinating. So I hope you enjoyed today's Gadget Professor show. I enjoyed bringing it to you. Please remember to watch the Gadget Professor live from NAB starting this coming Monday. Watch your show notes, watch Twitter, watch my Facebook page. I will announce the URL very shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see everybody next Thursday.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.